Diego by 2.5 in the NL West. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
I hate stepping on the emotions. They sound so good. Leave it to Dr. West to choose the emotions as his walk-on song today. All right, Doc, unpack this.
So, brother, first we just want to linger with that black artistic genius coming out of the Hutchinson sisters from the south side of Chicago, out of Friendship Baptist Church. Clay Evans, pastor. Dwight McGee, member. Walking the line. That's the history of black folk for the last 400 years, especially in the America. How do you walk the line with the love when the rope is slippery and it looks as if there's no way out, there's no vision, no leadership strong enough to affirm the rich humanity of black people? And yet somehow we still stay on that slippery tightrope. We keep walking that line. Say you do, say you don't. Or you're concerned about rights. No, you take them away. Or you're providing some kind of possibility and you want to take them away. Uh-huh.
Turn it up, Miles. Turn it up. Turn it up. Walking. to Doc's commentary about walking the line.
Mm.
I want you to hear this, Doc. Our dear friend and brother, Mark Ridley Thomas, literally just reminded me during that break, reminded me that the plaque on the 16th Street Baptist Church reads, "What they meant for evil." We all know that. We all know that verse. What they meant for evil, God meant for good. Mark encourages us and reminds us, as I do, to read Genesis 50:20, since we went there. But what they meant for evil, we have turned into as much good as we could. I said earlier, quoting you, Dr. West, in our conversation with Daniel Black, that I don't know if do you recall saying this in one of your speeches years ago, that when we walk in the room, they ought to just give us a standing ovation because we could have created a black Al-Qaeda and we didn't. Do you recall that?
Oh, Lord, yes. When you hear the name of Harriet Tubman, names are Ida B. Wells Barnett, let alone Martin King or Fannie Lou Hamer. And, they decided not to form a black version of the Ku Klux Klan and say, you terrorize us, we terrorize you back. You hate us, we hate you back. No, we said we're going to keep tracking the hate. We're not naive. We know the terror is real. But our counterterrorism would take the form of a commitment to a love and justice that will end up creating a better world, even for the folk who terrorize us.
Mm.
You see, that's a spiritual and a moral genius that makes you want to just listen to John Coltrane's Love Supreme and quit talking. Because there's a level of spiritual depth that goes beyond language. And that's what is missing today, my brother. You just see the waves of hatred, the waves of terror, the waves of trauma, the waves of sadness. And it gets deeper and deeper and deeper because American empire is a sick empire. It's spiritually decaying. It's morally collapsing. And yet somehow we have to have examples in the form of institutions, movements, as well as persons and individuals, and, thank God, radio stations like 5080.
To your mind, what has enabled us, since you went there, I'm following you, what has enabled us to walk the line for these 300-400 years? How have we been able to walk this line?
No, I think that Professor Black laid it out the last hour. It is a fundamental commitment to character formation, to spiritual soulcraft, so that integrity and honesty and decency is not something you're willing to give up or sell out. As long as we remain rich in the things that money can't buy, that's where the love is. That's where the integrity is. That's what character is. That's what deep soulcraft is. And once we lose that, and we've lost a lot of that in Black America, let's just be honest about it. My brother was laying that out, that the market has been so powerful that people just want to opt for the idols of the culture and the fetishisms of the day, and they lose sight of what is most important, what really makes you rich, which is how much love you got, how much courage you got, how much compassion you got, how much integrity you got, how much honesty you got, how much decency you got, how much style you got, how much soul at the deepest level you got.
Here we are, all these years later, still walking the line. That's Dr. West's walk-on song today from the Emotions out of Chicago. We'll continue our conversation with Dr. West when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
California to the Carolinas. Everybody's listening to Tavis. More when we come forward.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell and Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult. And it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
1455 Frazee, San Diego. CordellCordell.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Made fresh daily in Leimert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Dr. West can't tease us and mention John Coltrane and Love Supreme without us finding a way to weave some of that in case you've just tuned in. Dr. West said sometimes you find yourself in moments like these where the best thing you can do is just shut up and play Coltrane's Love Supreme. And if that don't speak to your soul, if that don't speak to your spirit, then heaven help you. It occurs to me that what Dr. Daniel Black was talking about in the last hour, what Dr. West has continued talking about this hour, is really the notion of what is known as radical imperative. Radical imperative. This notion that we are called to act radically, profoundly, in the face of these kinds of crises like the one we are facing right now. Take that notion of radical imperative, Doc, and work it as you will, sir.
Yes, indeed. That's a rich formulation, too. Because when Maurice White and Skip Scarborough put pen to paper and wrote that Walk in the Line, when Coltrane put pen to paper and wrote those notes and brought in McCoy and brought in Alvin and brought in Reggie, you say, hey, we have got to fortify ourselves in order to be love warriors and freedom fighters and wounded healers in a world that is overwhelmingly shot through with so much coldness and cruelty, so much callousness and indifference. And the only way you sustain yourself and fortify yourself and keep the full armor on is to have a spiritual and moral source that can sustain your fighting, your witness, and your work. And the only way you do that, brother, is be grounded in the tradition. When Professor Black, my dear brother Black, talks about those hush harbors, when he talks about you got to steal away in the creek to get re-spiritually and morally fortified. Mark Riley Thomas talks about how do you get good out of the evil. The only way you do that is you have morally and spiritually fortified folks who's willing to do the work of God such that that bloodstained banner, that tear-soaked banner is visible to the younger generation and the love is manifest, which means what? You serve, which means what? You sacrifice, which means what? You ready to die with a smile on your face because you know that you tied to a cause bigger than your ego, bigger than your narcissism, bigger than your egoism, but it's grounded in the love that grandma and granddad and church and mosque and temple and coach poured into you, and you allowing that love to be poured into the younger generation.
I went to the Hollywood Bowl the other night, and this is after Donald Trump. Ordered the flags to fly at half staff in honor of, I'm putting that in air quotes, in honor of Charlie Kirk. So here we are in California, and Doc has been to the Hollywood Bowl. Many of you have been there. This vaulted venue here in Southern California. I was there the other night, and I walked in and sat down. And what was I there for? Oh, I was actually there to see the Dance Theater of Harlem. That makes this even more interesting. So just hold on to this. I'm there to see the Dance Theater of Harlem on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. I take my seat, and I look up, and there is the flag at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, California, blue state, progressive, Los Angeles, California, and that flag is flying at half mast. And I asked myself, who gave that order in this space, in this arena, to lower that flag? I know what Donald Trump said, and what he ordered at the level of the federal government. But municipalities and counties, states, are not obligated to do that. It's a federal mandate. And I looked up in Los Angeles and saw that flag, and it messed that night up for me. I enjoyed the performance as best I could. You can't fade the Dance Theater of Harlem. But I'm looking, Doc, at this flag flying half-staff. I thought about almost immediately the conversation you and I had just days ago on this program about what happens when you put the flag above the cross. I thought about that for starters. What happens when you put the flag above the cross? But then I thought about this, and you used the word manifest just a moment ago, so here's my question. What is America manifesting right now? You're talking about the babies and the babies yet unborn who will see this and will read about this and hear about this. What is America in this era of Donald Trump manifesting right now? Because I'm still wrestling with this question of who are we really? Not who we say we are. Not the ideals, the ideals that we profess, but the ideas that we're enacting in real time. Who are we really? What is America manifesting in this moment as we listen to John Coltrane talk about a love supreme?
Yeah, well, good God, the standard is so high with Coltrane and the black love of our mamas and daddies and Martin Kings and others. But the worst of America has always been what's been operative in Trump's policies and administration, though, bro. And what's the worst? The dishonesty, the hypocrisy, the mendacity, the criminality. You say, well, when you use that language, that's hate language. No, not at all. Not at all. We're telling the truth about Trump. You see, Trump is a brother who chooses to be a gangster. He's the brother who chooses to say anything and do anything with no accountability, no answerability. He's the brother because he's made in the image of an almighty God, and therefore he has a certain sanctity and dignity. Yes, I believe that as a Christian, no doubt. I would say the same thing about Brother Charlie. I would say the same thing about his precious wife and the 2 children, as Brother Black said, you see. We are against murder. Murder is wrong. I don't care what color, what gender, who does it. It's wrong. Human beings are precious. But human beings also have a working witness, what they said and what they did when they were alive. And we could talk about that without trashing him or his family. When he said Martin was an awful man, when he opposed the Civil Rights Act, when he called Brother George Floyd a scumbag, he's still a human being. When he's murdered, that's wrong. But those are his words. They have to be honest about that. Now, if that's the person that you want to lower the flag, well, Trump's got a right as president because America elected a gangster. As president, he'd lower the flag for the federal buildings, but for everybody to do it, well, that's a choice that other institutions, Hollywood Bowl and municipal and local and state buildings, they make their own choices in that regard. But that we understand, that's part of what it is to live in a country that has both the worst and the best. I think Martin was the best. I think Trump is the worst.
Yeah. You mentioned Daniel Black. He said in that first hour, and again, if you missed that first hour with Dr. Daniel Black, I implore you to check out the podcast posted later tonight of that entire dialogue and discourse. I'm glad to have you tuned in to Dr. Cornel West right now. I know you don't ever miss him on Mondays and Thursdays at the top of the second hour. But Daniel Black said something, since you referenced him, I want to go back to, because if anybody can speak to this, you can. So let me just put this to you. So Daniel Black said in that conversation that the problem is not white people, it's white supremacy. He drew a clear line that it's not the good white folk, it's white supremacy. When he said it, it hit me. And I know exactly what he meant, and I don't think he's wrong, per se. But there are people I know in this country, people who look like you and me and Dr. Daniel Black and MRT, who you referenced earlier, people who look like us, who don't buy that. For them, they cannot make a distinction between the two. So when you say it's not white people, but white supremacy, they ask, how can you separate the two? And to that, you'd say what?
Well, one is that the black community, the black freedom movement has always had a number of different voices and persons. And some folk are going to, when they hear white supremacy, all they think is white folk.
Exactly.
Because you can't have white supremacy without white folk. There's no doubt about that. I decided to go another way. You see, I decided to go with Martin and Fannie Lou, meaning what? I'm still hating the sin, but I'm trying to stay in contact with the sinner, and therefore you're going to have some white folk who choose to fight against white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
Because white folk can choose integrity. They can choose honesty. They can choose morality. They can choose spirituality. But it's the other way, too, though, brother.
Mm-hmm.
If all the white folk disappeared in America, there'd still be white supremacy in the hearts of black people.
Woo!
But the white supremacy has been inculcated, internalized in the souls of black people. But that's what it is to be shaped by a white supremacist civilization tied to the greed of predatory capitalist processes and imperial subjugation of indigenous peoples and so forth. So that his distinction is a very important one. But there's some folk who don't accept it. I'm still marching with them. We just got disagreements. That's all. I'm going with Jesus. They going with with another ideology. Okay, that's fine. Let's keep fighting. And we're going to disagree as we go to jail.
I'm going with Jesus. I love it. Let me ask you, if it is possible to rid ourselves of the white supremacy that abides inside of us, as you just taught us, is it possible to rid ourselves of that? And if so, how?
Well, it's called conversion. It's called transformation. Great Bell Hooks talked about it in terms of critical consciousness being forged. And how do you do that? Look at Malcolm X's autobiography, one of the greatest examples of that. But there are other examples as well. People who undergo deep change and transformation. And the only way you do that is you have to have examples, and you have to stay in context of struggle, of movements that sustain you after your conversion and transformation.
Yeah. This is a dangerous question to ask Dr. West with just a couple minutes to go, 3 minutes, but he can handle it. I don't know if I can, but he can handle it. Is there hope for America, or is this place as we know it doomed? As you well know, Du Bois left, and Baldwin left, and our friend Randall Robinson left. Long list of folk. They pushed Garvey out of here, but whole lot of people. And I had a conversation. I was talking to somebody yesterday about a show I did a year or so ago with a number of black expats. I did a whole hour, and we were tapped into black expats all around the globe who had just decided that it was time to get out of here. Is there a hope for America, or is this democratic experiment just so flat that it can't ever be revived?
Well, the thing is that America has always been doomed, because every empire is doomed. God has said very clearly, I will break the back of your power. You will reap what you sow. The question is whether there would be enough courageous folk in America to push back the hatred and the greed so that this experiment could be sustained for as long as it could. But every empire is going to come and go. Every country it comes and goes. It's just a question of when. It's just a question of when. But the crucial thing is, on our watch, we've got to do all we can to keep loving, keep swinging, keep fighting, keep truth-seeking and justice-seeking, and create those moments of interruption of love and justice and joy.
Yeah. Since Dr. Black went there and you went there, I'll go there. Somewhere I read that joy cometh in the morning. Can we wait that long, Doc? How do we if we wait on the morning
Martin
to come?
said, how long?
Yeah, how long? That's what Martin said. How long, man?
How long? Not long. Well, it's been a long time. But the thing about it, Tavis, that's out of our control. Ours is in the trying and the witness bearing. The rest is not our business, brother. We not God. We not messiahs. We are here to follow a wheel tied to a sacrifice of a great people, black people, poor people, wretched of the earth, and at the same time recognize that we're not going to save nobody. We're not going to save no society.
I hope you heard what Dr. West just said. I repeat it in case you didn't. Ours is in the trying, and the rest is not our business. Ours is in the trying, and the rest is not our business. And so we just keep walking the line as the emotions encourage us to do. Dr. West, I love you. There ain't nothing you can do about it. You already know that, though.
Love you, brother. You keep walking that line.
Walking, walking, walking.
This is getting good. Yeah, man. Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Southern California mourns conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Hundreds gathered at Beverly Gardens Park in Beverly Hills for the largest of several weekend vigils.
I hope everybody unites and we kind of get back on the same page, because we all have to live here together.
Kirk was murdered last week in Utah. A public memorial is planned Sunday in Arizona, with President Trump expected to attend. Atlanta's National Center for Civil and Human Rights just unveiled a $60 million renovation. The privately funded museum now features new galleries, interactive exhibits, and a recreation of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s home office. And singer Raheem DeVaughn brings soul to New York City's Flavor Food and Wine Festival on September 20th. Hosted by Pearls and Ivy Foundation of Queens, the event features celebrity chef demos, tastings, and reflections on DeVaugh's 20-year music journey. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Do you really know what's in your tap water? LifeSource believes your water should support your health, not work against it. Upgrade your water with a LifeSource Whole House Water System during September's Double Dip promo. Call 800-WATER-99 or visit LifeSourceWater.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Impressive victory for the Rams Sunday at Tennessee. The Rams improved to 2-0 with a dominant 33-19 win. 5 sacks for the Rams defense. Quarterback Matthew Stafford had a strong day with 298 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. The Chargers are in Vegas tonight to take on the Raiders. 7 p.m. kickoff on ESPN. The UCLA administration has seen enough. After only 15 games as UCLA's head coach, Deshaun Foster was fired Sunday morning after the Bruins' 0-3 start this season. The 35-10 loss at home to New Mexico Friday night was the last straw for the administration. New Mexico was picked to finish 11th in the Mountain West Conference. Foster was 5-10 in his short role as head coach. Bruins assistant Tim Skipper will be the interim coach the rest of the season. The Dodgers beat San Francisco 10-2. They lead San Diego by 2.5 in the NL West. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
no warrant, no key. 556. You don't have to speak. 556. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights. Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with Tavis Smiley.
Oh man, that first 90 minutes today was all that and then some. We thank Dr. Daniel Black. We thank Dr. Cornel West for kicking us off today, and just some rich conversations. If you missed any part of Daniel Black in the first hour, check out the podcast when we post it later today. If you missed any part of Dr. Cornel West, check out the podcast when we post it later today. This is why we do podcasts. If you missed the live version of the conversation, as I always say at the top of every show, check out the podcast. And so we invite you to make sure that you hear Dr. Black and Dr. West in their entirety if you missed any part of those conversations. I am delighted now to welcome to this program David Cole. Is Donald Trump's crackdown on flag burning really just another way to actually torch the Constitution? See what I did there? Is the crackdown on flag burning really just another way to torch the Constitution? A conversation now with David D. Cole, a Georgetown University Professor of Law and Public Policy and former National Legal Director for the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, to explain how Donald Trump's crackdown on the flag it really is about just torching the Constitution. David Cole, how are you, sir?
Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you on. Thank you for your time. I want to make the most of these less than 30 minutes that we have here. So just take me inside this frame with regard to what Trump is doing vis-a-vis the flag.
So he's doing what politicians do, which is taking the easy course, waving the flag, and threatening to go after people who disagree with his point of view and burn the flag. But the Supreme Court, in a case that I was involved with back in 1989 and then in 1990 again, affirmed that burning the flag is our constitutional right, just as waving the flag is our constitutional right. The flag is ours. We can do with it what we want. We can wave it, we can burn it, we can use it in whatever way we want, and the government can't single out one particular use of the flag, as in burning it to protest, for punishment. That's the law under the First Amendment. It is seen as one of the sort of cornerstones of First Amendment jurisprudence, and Donald Trump is attempting to run roughshod over that decision.
So given that it is a guaranteed right that we have so stated by the Supreme Court to wave the flag or burn the flag if we choose, what is Trump, what this executive order that he signed on burning the American flag said exactly what's his end and aim here?
So, I mean, I think his end is to fool the American public into thinking he's doing something, because he's not doing anything at all. At the end of the day, the Supreme Court has said the government cannot tell us that you can't burn the flag. And so he can issue as many executive orders as he wants, but he can't actually prosecute someone for burning the flag under a flag burning statute. There are circumstances, and his executive order, cites these. There are circumstances in which the government could punish you for burning the flag. So, if you're in a city that says that you can't burn anything without getting a permit, you can't burn your leaves, you can't burn your trash, you can't burn anything without getting a permit first for safety reasons or for environmental reasons, well, then you don't have the right to burn a flag vis-a-vis that law. It's a general law. It doesn't turn on the message you're sending. It's just about burning. So one of the things Trump says is he's going to have his folks encourage local, towns who tend to have these anti-burning ordinances to go after people for burning the flag using that law. But I think he's actually handed anyone who is in fact prosecuted in that way a ready defense, because while those laws are legitimate and you don't have a right, if you don't have a right to burn leaves, you don't have a right to burn a flag, but you do have a right not to get singled out for prosecution because the government doesn't like the message you're sending by, say, burning a flag. So if they don't prosecute people who burn leaves, but then they do prosecute people who burn flags, that's selective prosecution. It's just like if they prosecute black people and they don't prosecute white people for the same crime, that's selective prosecution.
Yeah.
That's unconstitutional. And by issuing an executive order that basically says, I don't like people who burn the flag because I don't like the message it sends. It undermines the unity of America. Of course, he is the one who undermines the unity of America, but he claims burning the flag undermines the unity of America. And therefore, I'm going to urge local governments to go after flag burners using the excuse of, we're not punishing you for undermining unity, we're punishing you for safety or environmental reasons. And he's essentially handed those defendants a selective prosecution defense.
When a student in your Georgetown law classroom wants to ask a question, what do? They raise their hand? Is that what they do? They raise their hand?
Yeah, but that's hard to do on the radio, right?
Yeah, it is. But I'm raising my hand right now, so I'm just letting you know that my hand is raised. I want to ask a question. May I ask a question, Professor? All right. Here's my question. I want to take what you just laid out and extend it. And here's my question. So let's say that Donald Trump, and the right is really, really good about this, and I've said this many times on this program, that we're focusing on the White House in every election, and we should not ignore that. But they're focusing at the local level. I mean, even down to the school board, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. They are hyper focused on what it means to run things at the local level. That's why there are so many Republican governors in these states, et cetera, et cetera. You take my point. They focus locally. So let's say that Donald Trump, his entreaty in this executive order, is followed by Republicans all across the country in locales from California to the Carolinas. And we look up in a few years, and there are all these ordinances that say we can't burn the flag because we can't burn nothing. And then somebody burns the flag, they end up being prosecuted. And that case, I'm fast forwarding here, that case makes its way all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court as it is currently constituted. What happens?
So I do think that's part of Trump's game plan here. He says the Attorney General should look for ways to kind of call into question the decision. I think they don't have much shot at that. This is a Supreme Court that is, as you know, very, very conservative, but it is very protective of the First Amendment. It has been very, very protective of free speech. And a lot of the conservatives on the court are free speech conservatives. So, and Texas versus Johnson, which is the case that established this principle, is really one of the cornerstones of First Amendment jurisprudence. I mean, it was a 5-4 decision, 5-4, so it was a close decision, but it had Justice Scalia and Justice Kennedy in the majority. It has been cited time and time again for the basic proposition that the government, I think the decision says the bedrock principle of the First Amendment is that the government cannot punish someone's speech or expression merely because society finds that speech or expression offensive. And that is exactly what's going on when you punish flag burning. The only reason to punish someone for burning a flag under a flag burning statute is that you object to the message. You find the message offensive. And that is such a core principle of the First Amendment that I do court any chance they overturn it.
So here's what scares me, and I want to just tee this up now. I'll let you respond to it when we come forward here in just a moment. I accept everything you've just said, and you're the expert here. You're the professor. I'm just a lowly talk show host asking questions here. But I've been at this long enough to know that the moment that we are in now is uniquely different than anything we've ever experienced. And if we were in a moment, in an era where we were talking purely about the notion of patriotism, your answer would be received much more easily by me. But we have moved, I think, from a frame of patriotism to a frame of nationalism. And that's where I want to take this conversation when we come forward with David Cole on Tavis Smiley.
Generous listening. Charitable listening. It's why everybody wants to talk to Tavis. The conversation continues when we come forward.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte. Let's preserve black land stories before they're lost forever. I want to personally invite you to be a part of something historic. As journalist in residence for the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, I've joined forces with powerhouse attorney and social justice champion George Fothery, the man who helped make history by delivering justice to the Bruce family in Manhattan Beach, securing the first known return of land unjustly taken from black owners by a local government. That victory was monumental, but it was just the beginning. For generations, black families have acquired land through grit, faith, and determination, only to lose it through violence, legal loopholes, forced sales, and systematic racism. What's been taken goes far beyond dirt and deeds. It's the erasure of wealth, identity, and legacy. That's why we've launched the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, a national effort to collect, protect, and preserve the stories of black land lost before they're buried, forgotten, or erased altogether. Because there's power in telling black stories, there is resistance in remembering, and there's justice in being seen and heard. This is where you come in. We're inviting you to be a part of this historic black narrative archive. If you or someone you know has experienced land loss, displacement, or forced property sales, your story deserves to be heard and remembered. Your story belongs in this archive. Your truth matters not just to your family, but to our collective future. Visit blacklandlost.org today. Fill out our simple intake form and add your voice to the National Archive of Remembrance, Resilience, and Reckoning. Let's make these stories live on, not in whispers, but on the record. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with a Georgetown University professor in law and public policy and former national legal director for the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU, Professor David D. Cole. Honored to have him on this program. So I want to expand the frame here. As I said a moment ago, Professor Cole, that if we were in a space where patriotism was the order of the day, maybe I could receive what you said a little bit more easily. But it seems to me that part of what is animating the ways in which Donald Trump is showing up is that it's no longer about patriotism. It's about nationalism, and that is a whole nother thing that causes me some trepidation. I digress. The microphone is yours.
Well, I can't disagree with you. It's about nationalism. I'd say it's about white Christian nationalism in particular.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any doubt that Trump administration and many of the people he's appointed are on that train. I don't think that 5 justices of the Supreme Court are on that train. And so, that's the ultimate question would he urge that the decision be overturned? Yes. Would he get a hearing from the Supreme Court that is sympathetic? I just don't think so. I don't see Chief Justice Roberts or Kavanaugh or Barrett. It's not even clear that Gorsuch, who is quite a libertarian sometimes, would go along with this. So I think it's a pretty firm foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to give it a shot in whatever ways. Another thing he talks about in that executive order is going after immigrants for burning the flag and seeking to deport them for burning the flag. Now, I don't know a lot of immigrants who come to this country and then burn the flag, but The Constitution, the First Amendment of the Constitution protects speech. It protects all people's speech within this country. It doesn't say citizens have the right to speak. It says the freedom of speech shall not be infringed, and that's everybody. So this, just as you can't lock up Joey Johnson for burning the flag, you also can't deport someone for burning the flag. But Trump has said he will try if he catches an immigrant burning the flag. So he's going to try to push it up there. This is an easy political issue for politicians. When the Supreme Court decided in 1989 that flag burning was protected by the Constitution, Congress stayed in session rather than go home for the 4th of July holiday, so that almost every member, Democrat as well as conservative, could get up and denounce the court for its decision. There was then a major effort to amend the Constitution. 49 out of the 50 states passed resolutions to amend the Constitution, Vermont being the only one that withstood that demand. 2/3 of the House of Representatives voted to amend the Constitution to excise flag burning, but it failed repeatedly in the Senate. So it's an easy political thing to be against flag burning and for flag waving, and Trump, likes to take the easy ones. So I'm not surprised what he's doing. I just don't think it's going to succeed.
Donald Trump is challenging so many things that we thought were foundational. I want to talk about that in our remaining moments with Professor David Cole. He's challenging so many things that we at one point did in fact believe were foundational in this place called America. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Why does Tavis say when we come forward? Because he's not going back. And you don't have to go back either. Forward ever, backward never. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more. all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada. Member FDIC.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and David Koch, professor of law and public policy at Georgetown, former national legal director for the ACLU. Just 3 minutes left in conversation with him. And you got me thinking when you were talking about your view, at least, about why the Supreme Court in this instance would not give Donald Trump what he wants on this sacred issue of free speech and the issue of waving the flag or burning the flag. And yet Donald Trump has gone after so many things that we once thought were foundational in this country. I'm sort of expanding the frame, stepping away from the flag conversation in these 2.5 minutes I have left. What's your read of that part of the way he has shown up as president this time around?
Completely outrageous. Declaring emergencies where there are no emergencies, using war powers where there are no war powers, refusing to fund contracts that the United States is committed to, closing down agencies that Congress has created and he is duty bound to oversee and to continue. Just really, it is shocking what he has done to this country and to the Constitution. And it's also shocking that the Supreme Court has thus far, anyway, let him get away with it in those cases that have come before it, for the most part, with the exception of a couple of the immigration cases.
Yeah.
It has overturned lower court decisions, very thoughtful, reasoned, fact-bound lower court decisions, finding that his actions are illegal, and the Supreme Court repeatedly has simply overturned those without giving reasons on emergency basis. And I think, we are in a very, very tough time. I think we'll come through it if we stand up, if we fight back, if we come out into the streets for things like No King's Day and the like, if we work with the organizations that are fighting to preserve our liberties and our rights. But, that we have to fight. We have to fight because this is the biggest threat that I've seen in my lifetime as an American citizen and as a constitutional lawyer.
We say around here, when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. I've never in my life, I suspect Professor Cole would agree, seen any president offering solutions in search of problems.
Absolutely.
Every day, offering a solution that is searching for a problem. But I digress. David D. Cole, Georgetown University Professor in Law and Public Policy, former National Legal Director for the ACLU. Delighted to have had him on to talk about how Donald Trump's crackdown on flag burning is really just part of his effort to torch the Constitution altogether. Professor Cole, thank you for your insight, sir. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Southern California mourns conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Hundreds gathered at Beverly Gardens Park in Beverly Hills for the largest of several weekend vigils.
I hope everybody unites and we kind of get back on the same page because we all have to live here together.
Kirk was murdered last week in Utah. A public memorial is planned Sunday in Arizona with President Trump expected to attend. Atlanta's National Center for Civil and Human Rights just unveiled a $60 million renovation. The privately funded museum now features new galleries, interactive exhibits, and a recreation of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s home office. And singer Raheem DeVaughn brings soul to New York City's Flavor Food and Wine Festival on September 20th. Hosted by Pearls and Ivy Foundation of Queens, the event features celebrity chef demos, tastings, and reflections on DeVaughn's 20-year music journey. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Do you really know what's in your tap water? LifeSource believes your water should support your health, not work against it. Upgrade your water with a LifeSource Whole House Water System during September's Double Dip promo. Call 800-WATER-99